Hi, I'm Carly Williams. I'm 35 years old and I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer 3 years ago. And I am going to be talking about my story for anybody that is going through it or needs some support or help. This is my story. The reason why I'm so passionate about making this video is because actually a video like this totally saved my life and it helped me get diagnosed. And I feel the pull to do the same for others behind me that may see this video and get themselves in to get a mammogram and an ultrasound. So I'll start there. Back in I noticed that I had a rock hard marble-sized lump in my left breast, and I wasn't too concerned about it. I'm super healthy. I don't have any genetic history of breast cancer. And so I, did what I was supposed to do, and I made an appointment with a gynecologist. And I went in and I was like, hey, I'm super young, super active. Like, I'm a fitness instructor. I have a whole fitness business and I have this lump. I don't have any symptoms or anything, but I'm here because that's what you're supposed to do. When you feel a lump, you're supposed to come check it out. And the gynecologist was very dismissive of me, as I wanted to hear, because I didn't think I had breast cancer. I just was being proactive. And, she was like, you do not have breast cancer. You are too young, you're too healthy. And, she felt it and she's like, yeah, I feel it. It's probably just a cyst, super dismissive. And that gave me a lot of comfort. I was like, okay, good. I was just, making sure, and you know what you're looking for. And I was a, busy mom. I have 3 kids. I have a 10-year-old now and 2 identical twin 5-year-old boys, running a full-time business, really active and going all over the place. So when she was really dismissive of me, I was like, great. I just wanted to make sure I feel good. Awesome. And she's like, we could get an ultrasound. And she's like, I'll send you to get an ultrasound, just to be safe. But it was, and this is my own fault, but it was really inconvenient to get this ultrasound scheduled. And because she was so dismissive and there wasn't any urgency around this lump, I was like, okay, like she said, I don't have breast cancer. I'm too young, I'm too healthy. I don't have any of the other symptoms, so I'm just not gonna do it. And yeah, I was just a busy mom, as a lot of moms are. Our priorities usually don't revolve around us and our health. We're thinking about everybody else. And so I didn't schedule anything, and my lump started to grow. And about 10 months later, I moved from Texas back to my hometown, miraculously. And I noticed that this lump had grown from about this size to about half my left breast. It was just very weird. It was hard. I always say it felt like 2 mini airheads on top of each other. That's what it felt like. It was so weird. I was super lean. I didn't have a lot of breast tissue, and so it was very noticeable. So I made an additional appointment to see my OBGYN in Utah that delivered my twins, and I really trust him. And so I went in and I was like, this is so weird, right? Like, the other gynecologist said I really didn't have anything to worry about, but I just wanted to get a second opinion from you. And so he looked at it and he's like, Carly, you're like the healthiest person I know. You do not have breast cancer. And I was like, that's what I thought too. I just wanted to make sure, I'm like, this is just weird. And he was like, yeah, we'll just watch it. And so I left, and I remember exactly where I was. I was like making my bed, and I happened to start following somebody that was an identical twin that I went to college with. And he posted this stunning picture of his wife who was bald. And I happened to click on this video of this beautiful girl named Delia Chatwin. And I clicked on her video, and I happened to watch this video of her breast cancer diagnosis. And she is 4 years younger than I am. So she was 28 when she got diagnosed. I was 32 when I went in for that initial visit with the gynecologist when I first noticed my lump. I happened to watch her YouTube series, like the one that I'm making right now. And I and she was talking about her diagnosis and her starting chemo. And again, there was no like franticness within me, but I was like, the only reason why they're not sending me to get a mammogram and an ultrasound is because I was young and I'm healthy, but this girl is younger than I am and healthy. And so again, I was calm, but I called my gynecologist back. It was about 2 weeks after I had seen the one in Utah, and I was like, can I just get a mammogram just to be safe? And when I said that, they were like, absolutely, and they scheduled it. Unfortunately for me, because of COVID, they were about 2 months out from getting the mammogram, but I wasn't really worried. It's honestly a miracle that I saw that YouTube video and I called them back. It truly saved my life, which is again why I'm making this video. And so I remember I was in Mexico and they called me. I was on a trip with my husband and everything was fine, and I was the healthiest I've ever been, and I honestly didn't think anything would come of it, but they were like, hey, we have an appointment for you, and they scheduled it. And I came back from Mexico and I showed up at the hospital. And I remember I was like joking around with the mammogram tech, I was like, this is the weirdest thing ever. And I was like all happy and, didn't again think anything was gonna be found. I just was like, I was very naive, I guess. I don't know. I was just like, oh, how's it going, So she sets me up, and I noticed that her countenance really changed really fast when she saw my scan. And she was like, this is very concerning, and obviously they can't tell you anything, but she was like, we are going to call an ultrasound right now, and you're going to go to ultrasound. Is anybody here with you? And I was like, it was like the energy in the room just completely shifted, and I'm even getting chills just thinking about it, because it was like, what is happening right now? So I called my mom and my sister and my husband, and I was like, you get down here right now. Like, they said my scan's very concerning, and they want to do a biopsy right now and an ultrasound. And so I got on the ultrasound table, and they were doing my scan, and they went up into my armpit, and then I started feeling around in my armpit, and I could feel a little like BB-sized hard mass. And again, all that they said was, this is very concerning, this is very concerning, we're gonna do a biopsy right now. So they brought the doctor in, and I was just with my husband, and I remember I was just like shaking, like, what is going on, what's happening? And they took 2 or 3 samples, I can't remember. They took one from my armpit and then one from my left breast, 1 or 2. And again, all that they would say is, this is very concerning, this is very concerning, this is very concerning. And so I walked out of the hospital shaking, thinking, oh my gosh, I think I have breast cancer.